It took me a minute to get my gear on for walking, and then I couldn't remember how to start a pre-scheduled live on my phone. Took me a minute. So I figured it out. It is warm and cloudy outside, and I got an alert that it's supposed to start raining. I hope not. I got my umbrella in my little cinch sack just in case. I think I might stay on my street because it's not just supposed to rain, it's supposed to storm. So, uh, sticking my face in the camera, sorry. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you're here. Say hello. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I jumped in my pool yesterday with a different AirPod in my ear. Now I'm always listening to something. Little cottontail bunny, little white, little fluffy tail, in our backyard again. And I think I'm going to call her she because I'm hoping for some babies. I was sitting outside the other day and I heard a rustling I have these like above ground beds. And it sounded like something jumped out. And last year I had 2 or 3, I call them batches, batches of baby bunnies that were born, and they were under our squash plants because the leaves are nice and big, so it keeps them hidden. So I'm hoping they do that again. So it's cloudy, but I don't know. They're like thin white clouds. So, I mean, when it gets dark, then I'll know it's going to start. I might chance going around the block one time. Let me see. Anybody in here? I don't see any comments. Hello, hello. Welcome in. So I have been listening to the new James Patterson book. And I know I've heard some people already like, I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to give him my money. And I don't think he should have done that. But, excuse me. I am telling you, I am less than halfway through. I've got it on Audible. There's 138 chapters. I'm on like chapter 56, I think. Less than halfway through. It is fascinating. Like, extremely well written. Like, blows the other 2 books. So there's a book by Howard Bloom, and there's a book by, I think his name's J. Reuben Appelman. Literary wise, this book is excellent. James Patterson even starts off at the beginning saying, this is going to read like fiction. I know a lot of people say, because it probably is. Who do I see? Bread, hello. William, hello. Hi, babe. Carlos Aponte's in the house. I'm hounding him to catch up on the book, and he's hounding me to catch up on the Amazon Prime docuseries, which I am going to finish today. We're going to do an episode on that, which that was good too. But what I have loved about the Patterson book so far, I'm feeling drops. I'm not even going around the block. I'm circling back around. The structure of it, the timeline he uses, I love because he doesn't jump around. He laser focuses in on like one person or that one person and everybody that they have interacted with this one certain point in time, and the details that he adds are phenomenal. And you can tell who he's talked to. And it does say, he says it at the beginning. There's a prologue that's like 3 chapters long, and he goes over all the people that he talked to. And it says on the cover that he spoke to like more than 300 people. I can tell they really got a lot of information out of Hunter Chapin and Emily. I can't remember her last name, Arndt or something like that. And the Chapins, specifically the mom. Oh, the details he has about her in this book just tears my heart out. And it's really a tribute to the victims. The timeline and the way that he approached telling everything about them, I just loved more than any other thing I've seen, any book, any report, any interview, anything. He did a really good job. I don't know what that means. Who is that? I don't know. So yeah, I can tell, like I just listened to a chapter, my neighbor's just waving to me, about, he goes through like all the families finding out, and I just listened to, like, so here's how I can tell he talked to the Chapins. He describes how after, oh, hold on 1 second. Yeah, you are. Is it gonna go late? Because his reunion is Saturday, but when we get home, maybe we'll walk on down. I'll save you guys some points. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. We just got invited to a pig roast. I love our neighbors. Love them. What was I talking about? Oh, the Chapins. So well, in the book, he describes how after they had done everything with the police, it's drizzling. I'm getting a little drizzled on. They went to the hotels because the university blocked off some hotels for the students that were affected, just anybody in need. So the Chapin family, they went there, and then she describes waking up in the night and just wanting to like get out, like I gotta go walk. And of course, her husband's like, "You're not going alone." So he went with her, and they like just walked. She described like going past the golf course and like places that like Ethan would spend time, and they ended up at the house. Oh, and I never knew that. I never heard that before. So I'm going to assume that the author did very thorough interviews with that family. Now, the chapter that I just listened to was about the Gonsalveses, and it was very basic, just what we all know about them finding out that day, everything that's been reported. So it looks like maybe they did an interview with him, which I think is odd because he was all over everywhere talking to people. So I don't know. I highly recommend it. Like, it is. I can't stop listening to it. It's just he told everything in a really great way. So the neighborhood kids are out. They've got an umbrella. Hi. I'm like the kids. Nothing stops us. We're going to be outside. Yesterday was sunny and we knew we were getting 5 days of rain after. So I was like, made sure I was outside all day, swimming in my pool, getting yard work done, make sure you mow the grass before the rain comes, get all that stuff done. And today's actually nicer than I thought it was going to be. So we'll see. And then my daughter and I were sitting outside last night because I told you we're going to Lollapalooza. So we're like, we each have one band, one group that we picked the day we're going to go because they were both on that same day. But we don't know anybody else. Oh no, there's one group. It's DJ O. I don't know how you say it, but he sings that song, end of the beginning, and it talks about being back in Chicago. And we're gonna be there for that. That's gonna be crazy to hear that in that park at that festival. That's gonna be awesome. But we were looking up. Who's this? Alfie! Skull! What name we got going on there now? I haven't seen you in a while. Hello. Thanks for popping in. I was just saying how my daughter and I were checking out the groups that are going to be playing at Lollapalooza, and we're looking them up, just on Spotify to play like their hits or whatever. There's so much EDM like that, and I'm listening to these songs and I'm like, how are they going to get up there and sing this? She's like, no, it's like a DJ that's just going to like play the music. And I'm like, oh my God, like, not my taste. Not my taste. And it seemed like it was either that or the vibe of these like new, like, they're kind of like, I don't know, we would call them like indie groups, like they're not mainstream, right? The vibe is so mellow. I told her, I'm like, I'm gonna go to sleep when we're there. Oh my gosh. So then you have all those groups who are playing like all day long, and then at night they're gonna bring out Corn. Uh, Underground, yeah, yeah, yeah. I used to listen to some awesome, awesome underground reggae bands like in the 90s. Oh my God, I had them on a mixtape. Uh, and I'm out of that loop though. What is it? Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love some good reggae bands. There was one we looked up, I can't remember the name of it, but it had that vibe. It wasn't ska, it was more like reggae beat-ish. Because the college I went to had a really awesome ska band called Twist Offs. If you guys have heard of them, they're pretty popular for an underground type group. Um, so this one group that's gonna be there, I'm like, oh, that's got like a reggae vibe, like, and we looked him up, and of course the guy did have dreadlocks. I'm like, so we're gonna check them out. I can't remember the name, but they're from Australia, I think. That group's from Australia. There's another guy that's from uh a European country like Switzerland or Netherlands or something like that. So that was funny. We're just like looking at the list of who's playing and saying the name and looking them up and giving like a thumbs up, thumbs down. We found a couple. I like that one group. I'm like, oh, I might have found a new group I like. Skull, did you look up Blessed Union of Souls? Were you in here last time when I was talking about that? I don't know. It said resume, so I hope I'm back in the same. My husband's got my back. Carlos got my back. He was texting and calling to tell me I'm frozen. Is it better now? Sorry about that. Gotta beat the clouds. Well, if anybody hops back in, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I was talking about people that I want to hear from if the gag order is lifted. Let me know if this is working now. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you can see me and hear me. I'm back. I'm back. Is that Twiz? I'm doing a purge over here. You don't know what you're going to get today. Where is Kane? Wake Kane up. So definitely Cy Ray. Like, I cannot wait to hear what Cy says. Um, he's really gonna do it for me. And I think, I don't want to say names, but I think there's a creator on here that we all know and love and respect that I took as she was hinting that maybe like Elizabeth Vargas might come back and talk. I don't know. That's the way I took it. Talking about the DNA and all that stuff. So those two people, I think, would be interesting. I don't know. What's her name? It's not Elizabeth. Elizabeth Vargas is the news lady. What's her name? What's her first name? Vargas. Um, but I love her because I love her personality. Like I could tell I could be her friend. she just she speaks the truth to me. Like she don't hold back. You don't know her first name, yeah. Oh, it'll come to me. Carlos and I always laugh about the Elizabeth Vargas, that's the reporter, because she had some personal issues in her life. And so whenever she's on, we know it's going to be like a fluff story. They don't usually give her the like um, serious, important stories. Okay, I was getting drizzled on. Now I'm getting poured on, but it kind of feels good because I'm going to go to my porch. Did you hear anything, Twiz, what I was saying about James Patterson's book? Give me a minute to get where I can see these comments. It's hard enough without my glasses, and then I mean they're showing up white on a black screen, so I should be able to see them, but I need the font like 200%. All right, I'm out of the rain. Let me sit down. See what I got here. A Twix mixed with Kit Kats. You thought Twizzle Stick was a chick? Oh my god, you guys are bad. I'm listening to the book on Audible. So there's 138 chapters. I'm listening to it. The whole book is like over 9 hours long. So I'm over 2 hours I've been listening to it. Like I can't put it down. It is like, I have like an English background and reading and literary wise, it is excellent, excellent. Like I can't stop listening to it. You can tell that he interviewed, like you can tell which people he talked to and got information from. Like I feel like he talked with Hunter Johnson and Emily and the Chapin mom, Mrs. Chapin, and I don't know who, but he had so many details about like, I love the timeline, the way that he lays out the book. I was saying how he picks, like, one person or, like, one moment in time and whoever was involved in that moment, and it's just extremely detailed and well told, and so some things are coming like, not really coming out, like, earth-shattering, just painting the picture of what that moment was probably like. And he goes back and, um, like, starts with Kaylee and Maddie because they were the oldest ones, right, in that house. So he goes back through just them getting to the university. So he keeps it focused on that setting, like the university, and only goes outside the university, like, when it's the hometowns of the parents that are, like, finding out, things like that. So, just this the way he described them joining their, sororities, it was very detailed, like, you just feel like you're there. So that part of it, like, it's a good read. It's a good listen. Like, I listened, I'm telling you, for, like, over 2 hours yesterday just while I was doing what I was doing. Teach you how to write essays? I can do that, there's a formula to it. I had to teach essay writing to my students, talking in the first point of view on behalf. I don't know about that. I don't think it's in first person. Well, they do, yeah, I guess. I have to go back. I didn't listen to it through that lens. There is so it's a woman that's narrating it, and I love her because she's doing it the way I would do it, like, when it's, like, the police officers talking, she talks like this, gives them, like, a voice, but I something that stood out to me was whenever it was, one of the victims or Emily talking or anybody connected to the house that was female, it was a female voice, and it didn't sound like the narrator, so I'm like, "Did they have, like, other people do voices?" I don't know. So, yeah, there was some, like, first person talking, but I just think it added to the story. I'm not getting that picky and deep about it. It's a well told, like, I love it. Yeah. Yeah, do it, and you even if you're against it or you're like, "Oh, I don't believe anything he's saying," you should still listen to the other side, right? See what they're saying, just to get that information so that when you talk about it, then you have the evidence, right? You know what he actually said or how he actually wrote it, so you know what you're talking about. Yep. What else did I wanna talk to you guys about? So I went on I was texting Carlos this morning because he's at work, and I'm like, "How do you get the, like, daily, like, top news stories of the day?" Like, I'm kinda looking for, like, the, uh, unusual, unusual stories of the day or whatever. So, he sent me something, then I ended up finding my own, and I was just looking around, and there's a lot on there about the Emmys and, like, TV shows. So, there were a couple I'm like, "Oh, I wanna talk to everybody about that." So, has anybody watched the show Severance? Well, Afi, you can, type it up, put it in ChatGPT, and say, "Fix the grammar for me." So Severance is getting highly nominated for awards for the Emmys for daytime television or for television shows. It's on Apple TV, I believe, because there's these 2 that I want to talk to you about from Apple. It is the craziest. concept of a show. So I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but the concept is the people in this society can choose to go work at this place called Severance, and when you go there, they they do something so that when you're there working, you don't remember your outside self. And then when you're at home, you don't remember your work life. And I think it was an excellent concept because I feel like American workers are just so overworked and underpaid. That's to me, that's probably where that concept came from. So a lot of people either choose it for that, or they choose it because they don't know what else to do, or because they've had trauma in their personal lives, so they want to forget it out for a while. But that show gets crazy. It gets crazy. So like it's the truth about that place. And like a lot of us like conspiracy theories, and it would be right up that alley. So it's really good. The characters are really good. The storyline is really good. So highly recommend. It's called Severance. The other one is Shrinking. It's called Shrinking, but it's about shrinking like psychology, the shrinks. So it's about these group of psychologists that they have all these extreme personalities and their own life issues that they deal with. It is hilarious. It's really funny, but it also covers some like serious topics. So the characters are great, the cast is great, the storylines are great. Carlos and I like those two. Shrinking. Shrinking. Severance and Shrinking. I told Carlos we need to start talking about documentaries and like just TV shows and stuff on our show because um I don't know, I we watch a lot and we usually Carlos is really good at finding good stuff. Um and he watches things with a different lens than I do. Like he can critique it for like how it's made and stuff like that. I just watch it for like enjoyment. But we have found some really good ones. So, unknown ones. Oh, one that I was gonna tell you guys about. So you know how like the hot topic, and I got dark again, so let me know I'm not frozen, please. It doesn't show me if I'm frozen. The Epstein files, right? Everybody's in an uproar about getting those released. We watched a documentary, and I can't remember the name of it. I'll find it and put it in the description. But there was a documentary, and it was about Epstein, and it was his Florida case. So he had got thanks Twiz. So Epstein had gotten in trouble in Florida. There was a court case, and this documentary had some victims on there. There was a high school close to where his mansion or whatever was, and they were reaching out to these girls to come work there, like, and it started off as like the you're giving massages, like that. Um, so they explain all of that, and then there was ties to Ohio and the guy that owns Victoria's Secret. And it's all and not a movie, it was a documentary. And I know eventually some deal was made in court, so he got out of that one. Um, but that's a really, really good documentary. Oh, way easy, way easy. There was another documentary, I can't find it anymore. I think there's bits and pieces of it on the tube here. It's called Who Took Johnny? You guys know about Johnny Gosch? Um, he was the paper boy in somewhere, I think in the Midwest, Indiana, Iowa, something like that. He vanished on his paper route. There supposedly have been sightings. He supposedly like visited his mom like over a decade later. Um, but it's called Who Took Johnny, and it implicates that Franklin, I can't remember the name of it. Franklin, I don't know, I think it was a bank, some Franklin Bank or something, but that's another good conspiracy, uh, the PDF file ring. I think there was a lot to that. I just when I first watched that, I like was my mind was blown away, blown away. So the kid's name was Johnny Gosh. I think it's Gosch. After the Koberger sentencing is over, if there's nothing more coming out about that for a while, I'm sure there will be. If the gag's going to get lifted, I'm sure we're going to get some interviews for a while. So I don't expect that to just come to a cold stop. Um, but I'm going to dig into some of these other cases. I'm dying to talk about the Long Island serial killer case. You guys have any interest in that? Like, I feel like I know quite a bit about it because I followed it for a super long time. I had listened to a couple podcasts about it. This is before they knew who the person was. It was right after they were finding the bodies. Um, but yeah, I feel like I have a lot to share about it, and it's fascinating. It's fascinating to me because just like the Koberger case, just like the Karen Reed case, um, there's a level of corruption in the local police force that was first handling it. That's why I don't know if it was state or FBI, a new team had to come in and take over. And once they did, they solved it. But ooh, there was a lot of roadblocks for a while. You're releasing your first true crime episode, and is it going to be about Koberger? So when I was in with Chelsea, she was reading about, and you jumped up to read with her about appeals and the numbers associated with how many convictions were, true, not true, all about that stuff. Yeah, false confessions and why and percentages and stuff like that. Was there another story, Twiz? I like the Squirrel Crew. That information was interesting. So, Chelsea Whitaker, right, is her channel? Um, she does a good job sharing research information to answer questions that we have, mainly about the Koberger case. So, going to find out about the answers. So, oh, police corruption. No, I will go watch the parts that I missed. She's on late. I can't stay up that late. I got to do replay crew. The fancy words, yes. All right, 4 questions. What were the 4 questions? Was it something like, how many people falsely plea? Okay, paralegal, that makes sense. I wasn't sure if she was an attorney or not, but that makes sense. So paralegal. So she knows how to handle law documents. Awesome. Yep. So check her out, everybody. Chelsea Whitaker. Until noon. You reversed your sleeping schedule. She's gonna do what? She says she's going to do it. No. Do what? Yeah, all your friend. Yeah, the East Coast, and if you're over on the West Coast, yeah, you got to flip your schedule. Oh, law school. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, there's quite a few people on YouTube that are so good. Like I feel like they could easily do that. All right, so Carlos and I have videos coming out. We're going to record about the Prime docuseries. Um, and then once we finish the book, or maybe not, we probably don't have to wait to finish it because it's so long. It's going to take more than one episode. And I love doing that too. We read When the Night Comes Falling by Howard Bloom, and we probably did 5 episodes on that. Um, so we broke it up into chunks. So we'll probably do that with the Patterson, James Patterson book. Janelle, hello, Janelle. Um, I'm about to end this, but thanks for hopping in and joining. If you want to replay it, we talked about the James Patterson new book. I'm about halfway through it, so I shared some little tidbits, insight into that, just my, opinion so far, a review. Um, I talked about the weird music that's going to be at Lollapalooza. And some of that. I talked about some really good TV shows that I recommend that are nominated for some Emmys. And oh, we were talking about some true crime cases. Um I think I'm gonna do a daily live about the Long Island serial killer case and give the information because I feel like a lot of people don't know a lot of the backstory. So I want to get everybody caught up on that. And then Carlos and I can talk about it. He knows everything pretty much that I know. Um, when I would listen to stuff, I would tell him. So we've got some different content coming up with that. But first on our list is to do the Prime docuseries. I recommend it. What are you doing today? Or I thought you were talking about like the content, the topic that I talked about. So I gave you that update, and I'm still in the process of cleaning up all my school stuff that I brought home. That's one thing I wanted to say about Stacy Chapin. Okay. She used to be a principal of a school. I didn't catch what grades she was a principal for, but hearing her reactions and how she talks and all of that, I can totally see that. And even in the crisis moment, um, she kind of used those skills I think that she probably possesses from that. Anyone who's like, I think there's certain professions like first responders, school teachers. Now, I don't think school teachers should have to have this skill set, but in light of current events, they do. Like, especially because of the severe behaviors we always have to deal with, and then the threats, the violent threats, that are out there. Um, I think she's able to compartmentalize because you have to do that. It's hard. Um, I think it has a lot to do with just your personality too, because as a teacher, I would have to do that too, and it was hard for me because I'm a very emotional person, so I couldn't just shut it down all the time. But I thought that was evident about Stacy Chapin with in that book, the way they describe like how she cared for the other students that night and kind of took on that motherly role. She had the background knowledge to know, like, psychologically how this was impacting them in the moment. Just making good, smart decisions, not getting overreactive and having everybody have to take care of her. She was trying to take care of everybody else. So I just grew to love her more while reading this book. Well, thank you everyone who joined me. I should have went back and walked a little bit more. It stopped. It stopped raining, but that's okay. This will be a short one today. Um, be looking out for my upcoming episodes for the Long Island serial case. If the abbreviations are LISK, LISK. So if you see LISK, that's what that is. And Carlos and I'm going to try to get us to record tonight and then release it in the next couple days about the Prime docuseries. Have a great day, everybody. See you later. Bye.